answer this question from a girl that I absolutely adore. I know her personally. And her question is, I know where I am and I know where I want to be in my life, but how do I get there? And I know what she's kind of getting at as far as just breaking some bad habits. So I'm going to highlight 3 things, and then I'm going to give you some examples of how to get from point A to point B, okay? So the 3 topics that we're going to cover is endless boyfriends, then lying, and then gossip, okay? So let's say that you're one of those girls who has an endless string of boyfriends, and for some reason you just can't seem to break it. If somebody asks you out, you have to say yes, or you just can't help the sea of cute guys. Like, I totally get it, okay? But let's say you see that is kind of becoming destructive in your life, and you just don't want to do it anymore. So from point A to point B, what you do is you have to make a decision. Let's say that you're not being able to look at guys like people anymore. You know, you're just kind of looking at them like a hunk of meat. Okay? So let's say you make a decision that you're not going to date for a whole school year. Okay? Now, the best way to go about things like this when you're making a major life decision is to tell people about it, to be vocal, to say, I'm just not going to date this year. And if you have some close friends that you would say, hey, I want you to hold me accountable on this because I'm serious. If a guy asks you out, then you would say, hey, I'm just not dating this. I just don't want to date. I just want to get to know guys as friends like I do my girlfriends. And I've just had this endless string of boyfriends and I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to get to know you as a friend. See what happens. Okay? Let's move on to lying. Lying is a tough one. You know, if a person starts lying, it's really hard for them to quit, and then they start lying about things that really don't even matter. Stupid things, right? So, one of the best ways to get over a really bad habit is to put some things in place that make you incredibly uncomfortable. So, here's an example. Let's say you're telling someone a story, and you start fibbing, and you tell some little lies. What you should do is correct yourself right away and say, well, actually, that's not true. It's actually this way. If you don't correct yourself right away, then you go back to that person and you say, you know what? I wasn't being completely honest and I'm really sorry, but I lied and it's actually this way. Do you see how uncomfortable that would be? No, it's not really fun. Okay, so that's how you get from point A to point B with lying. Then, if you do tell a lie, then you would have someone, say a friend or a sister or a parent, that you would tell, hey mom, I lied again today. You know, so you have someone that you have to tell about it because secrets grow in the dark. I always tell my girls that. Secrets grow in the dark. If you are having some struggle, talk about it. That's the only way that you're going to get help for it, okay? So just be open about it. Okay, let's move on to gossip. Gossip is really easy to do, okay? And I totally get it. 21 years in a salon, a lot of gossiping going on in there. So I want you to look at gossiping as anything that would make another person look down on the person you're talking about, would change their view of that person. Sometimes it's like, well, they kind of deserve it because they did it. Well, you know, you kind of got to let their life speak for itself. I have done this. I have gossiped. I feel terrible about it. I try really hard not to do it. If I do it, I really try to say, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry I did that. So it's uncomfortable. It's not very fun. So if you gossip about somebody and you really smear their reputation, I'm sorry, but you owe that person an apology. You got to go to them and say, you know, I said some bad things about you, and I'm really sorry. Would you please forgive me? Now, if you say something offhanded to the person that you're talking to about someone else, correct it. That would be the best thing to do is right away just correct it and just say, you know, I shouldn't have said that. I'm really sorry. That was an opinion. It is not a fact, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me, okay? Now, if someone is gossiping to you about someone else, you can do several things, but let's break it down to two things. You could either say to them, would you stop? I really just don't want to hear that. Kind of depends on who you're talking to. If it's a good friend or a family member, you might have a relationship like that where you can just say, whoa, I don't want to hear that, okay? Or, this is my favorite, you walk away mid-sentence. I do this all the time. Usually in a public setting, if someone starts talking about somebody else, I all of a sudden get distracted and I just walk away. And that is actually quite powerful, to walk away mid-sentence, okay? And what it does, if you caught this same thing in those three circumstances that I gave you, is that you make a decision, okay? Now, what you need to do for your life is to highlight the things that you really struggle with and the things that you would like to overhaul, okay? And then you need to find your why. Why is it that you want to change? Are you seeing some traits in yourself that you're not proud of? You need to find the why, because when the going gets rough, you really need it. You're going to have to lean on that, and you're going to have to cling to the why. Why is that? Okay? Now, if you're a Christian, that might be because you love God and you don't want to disappoint him and you know he loves you. But if you're not, that's okay too. And you might just think, I just don't like that. I don't like that about myself. I look at it in other people and I hate it and I don't want to be that person. It's as simple as that. It's a decision that you make. It's kind of like I'm making a decision that I'm not going to do drugs. I'm making a decision that I'm not going to drink alcohol. It really is that simple, okay? Now, it does take a lot of self-control though. So I'm not going to, sugarcoat it and say that it's all easy, because it's not. But anyway, I hope that helps. I hope it helps my friend. Maybe she's watching. And if you have any other questions, write it down in the comment section below. If you like the video, of course, give it a thumbs up.